We have everybody muted. We're going to change that in a minute. But we'll be able to unmute you in a few minutes. Can you raise the volume anyway, Nogi? Yes. Okay, so in the computer. It's good to see your faces. We're about to be streaming. Zach is working on that. We had a technical, and say hi to them. Yes? So we are unmuting you, but then you need to mute yourself once again. Yeah, we are unmuting. We cannot. But then you need to mute yourself once again. Mark, are you muted? We cannot. But then you're not muted anymore, Mark. Mark, are you muted? Make sure then you mute yourself later. He muted himself now.
Gabby, can you say something so we know we can hear you?
Hello.
השארת את זה. לא, שנייה רגע, תעצרי. השארת את הדבר הזה, לכן את לא באמת ניתקת את זה. תוציא את הדבר הזה מהצד. כן. זהו. Now we have sound.
Say something again.
There we go. Hi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom ומבורך. And look at this. Do you see this, Gabby? This is for me to check the sound at the beginning of the service, so I know that we are doing right and we are not going in crazy directions.
Very nice.
I have like a monitor. So I guess, Zach, if you're having trouble, I can maybe do a stream myself. Zach is probably working hard and nervous. So we can start the streaming, making a pitch for the community to give us funds to get a new laptop for Zach. I think we can do that. Hi, Johnny. Okay. So are we streaming, Zach, or not? Are we on Facebook and YouTube so we can connect with everyone else?
It would say in here
Streaming.
if we were, yeah.
It will say. Well, let's do a nigun in the meantime. Just let's do a nigun, little nigun, while we are connecting. For those that are here, Chavez. Here it is. We was live, but we are not there anymore. We are coming back. We are coming back. Let's do a nigun. Let's do menucha besimcha. בשמחה אור ליהודים, ליהודים אי תורה בששון בעיקר. היי 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 Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are about to start our service, but we want to make sure that we are being able to connect with. We are good. Are we in live stream, Zach? We are not in live stream yet. It should be on Facebook. Okay, that's great. So that means that we are connecting with our friends, and you believe are we also in YouTube? I'll check that to make sure that we are connecting with everyone. We don't want to leave anyone outside. Yes, we are on YouTube and Facebook. Mark, you knew this. That's fantastic. So that's fantastic. We're going to share this. 1 second. God knows that I apparently not so good at working with write a post. Doing this so people can know that we are starting Shabbat. And it's done. Now we are in our Shabbat. So for those that have a Siddur, we will start our Shabbat on page 636 with Yedid Nefesh. Shabbat Shalom. It is so nice to gather to welcome Shabbat. This is the last Shabbat of the year. It's a very special Shabbat. We want to welcome those joining us in Zoom. It's nice to see a few friends as we gather for Shabbos and to see your faces. And of course, we want to welcome those joining us in Facebook and in YouTube. We love seeing your comments, so make sure that you leave them there. It is always a joy to go after services and to read your comments. So keep bringing them in. I had this thing to make sure that I hear myself at the beginning. I think it works. We are fine. We are going to put it in the side. So I want to start by sharing that this is a different Shabbat. We have been doing our services from the shul, and this Shabbat and for the next couple of Shabbatot, you will see us doing services from home. And the reason is because our leadership, in conversation with the staff, with a group of people that lead our Shabbat services, decided that it is safer now to do services from home. We are in the biggest spike that we had in Los Angeles County and then in Orange County. So considering the circumstances, considering that our hospitals are at zero capacity, we believe that is the right thing for now to do services from home. Hopefully, in a few weeks, we are telling a different story, and hey, good things are happening. I can tell you that even in Israel, tomorrow, my dad and my parents-in-law are going to get the vaccine. So things are moving. And true, it's not Orange County, it is Israel County. But things are moving forward. And I wanted to share something about that because this is the last Shabbat of 2020. Like how little we knew about this year in January a year ago, right? Like we had no idea that the world was going to turn around. And I have been hearing many comments about how horrible and difficult this year was. And indeed, it was a very, very challenging year. And I have been hearing comments about we don't want to remember you, 2020. And hopefully you go away and you never come back. I want to say that this is also a year of inspiration. When you see the levels of solidarity that we experience in our society, when you see also some of the brokenness that we experience in our society and needs to be addressed, when you see the fact that it is true, many people have died because of COVID. But on the other hand, I think in terms of the most terrible pandemics that our world have experienced, we never had such a quick and effective response through for treatments for COVID and also for the vaccination. So it is a year of inspiration also for human wisdom and for science and for leadership. So through many things that we haven't particularly enjoyed of this year, we hope that they don't come back. But on the other hand, they open the stage and the opportunity for acts of wisdom, kindness, solidarity, humanity to come through. And they are a blessing. And I want us also to remember our blessings and to carry those blessings also in 2021. So with nothing else to say, I want to invite you to bring a cup of wine, to bring your Shabbos candles, as we can connect our homes and convert them into one sanctuary and welcome Shabbat together. You need to unmute yourself, Gabriel.
I'm working on it.
Here you go.
It's been a while. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Good Shabbos, everyone. We turn our Sidurim to page 130, 131. Lechun LaAdonai, followed by Shiru LaAdonai, Shir Chadash.
Lechun LaAdonai Nari al tzur yishenu Nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot Nari alo Nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot Nari alo.
Shiru LaAdonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru LaAdonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru LaAdonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basru miyom leyom, Yeshuato, Sabru v'goyim, Kevodo, Bechol ha'amim, Nifleotav. Ay, dai, 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 dai. Ay, dai, 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 ya, dai, 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 dai. Ay, dai, 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 ay, dai, dai, dai. Ay, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ay, dai, dai, dai. Ya, dai, dai, dai. Ay, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Adonai malach tagel haaretz, yizmechu hayam rabim. Or saru al tzadik u'lishtoi lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, bodu lesecher kodshom. Using these psalms, these songs, as a stairway that brings us up into the experience of Welcome Shabbat. We turn our Sidurim to page 134 for Sambru LaAdonai.
בחצוצרות וקול שופר
turn our Sidurim now to page 136 for Psalm 29, Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Avul Adonai ben Elim, Avul Adonai kavod va'os, Avul Adonai כבוד שמו השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש כל אדוני על מים אל על כבוד עירים אדוני אדוני על מים רבים אדוני אדוני על מים רבים כל אדוני בכוח כל אדוני בהדר כל אדוני שובר ארסים וישבר אדוני את ארצי הלבנון וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסיריון כמו רמים כל אדוני חוצב לבוטש כל אדוני יכיל מדבר יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יכול לעלות ויחסוף יערות ומיכלו כולו מרכבות וביכלו כולו מרכבות לאדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמיו בשלום את עמיו בשלום. Beloved, come to the encounter with the divine. לך דודי לקראת כלה. We're on page 138.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, שמור וזכור, בדיבור אחד השמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, לשם לתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לקראת שבת לכו ונחכים קור, הברכה מראש מקדם נזוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך, קומי אורי אורי אורי, שתדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך ניגע. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, היי לך דודי, היי לקראת כלה, היי פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקדמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, אך יחסו אני עמי ונבנתה ירדתי לה. היי לך דודי, היי לקראת כלה, היי פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום אתם
We have Welcome Shabbat, so we want to encourage you to welcome each other, to say good Shabbos to each other. All those that are in YouTube, all those that are in Facebook, and of course all those that are in Zoom. We have a small group of wonderful congregants that we can see their faces now in Zoom, and they are courageous congregants that have given up on seeing the words, because actually if you are in Zoom, you cannot see the Siddur, but if you are in YouTube or in Facebook, right now you see the Siddur. We don't have that ability in Zoom, but we do have that ability on Facebook. So we appreciate those that are wherever you are joining us and sharing Shabbos with us. We invite you to say good Shabbos in the comments, to say good Shabbos to each other. As we turn our Siddurim to page 140, we dedicate to Shabbat 2 more Psalms. First one, page 140, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Forgot that. I did it in Gabi's key, but I'm singing with Noga today, and it's nice that we are adding variety. Thanks to the fact that we are doing services from home to our sounds and to our keys, we can explore different heights.
Mizmor, mizmor, shir,
shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, shir, shir leyom HaShabbat. We'll turn now our Siddurim to page 141. For those that are holding a Siddur, we say Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishberei Yam. If you are not familiar with the words, the melody is very simple. קולות מים רבים אדירים משברי ים מקולות מים רבים אדירים משברי ים אדיר ומרום אדוני אדיר ומרום אדוני אדיר ומרום אדוני אדיר ומרום אדוני מקולות מים רבים אדירים משברי ים מקולות מים רבים אדירים משברי Adir v'amarom Adonai, Adir v'amarom Adonai, Adir v'amarom Adonai. We'll now turn our Sidurim to page 146 in order to enter Ma'ariv Shel Shabbat with Baruch Hu. We take a moment to acknowledge our young. We take a moment to acknowledge each other. Gabby, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm a little rusty. Here we go.
Adonai, Amevorach, Leolam Vaed, Ay, 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 Yada, Ay, 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 Yada, Ay, 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 Yada, Ay, 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 Yada, Ay, 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 Yada, Ay, 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 Yada, Ay, Ay, Ay. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time, and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. ומעביר יום ומהביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, אנך אהבת תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. Everlasting love you offer to your people Israel, by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lay down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. We will work diligently to find love, to find joy, to recognize your presence in the world, in our world. But more than anything else, to recognize that love in our lives. As we get closer to the Shema, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and to think about the meaning, the image, the idea of everlasting love, of unconditional love for you. You might see a beloved person. You might recognize a memory. You might remember a landscape, a place, a feeling, an emotion. Allow your mind to go to that place, to that person, to that memory, and be there just for a moment. Let the experience of that love become a light, and let that light surround you. Allow that light for a moment to hold your entire existence. And as you breathe, take life, take energy, take renewal in by bringing that light into your system, but by allowing your system to become one with that light, with that love. When you inhale, you bring light and love. And you, as you exhale, as you breathe out, try to recognize things that you don't need to carry into Shabbos, that they don't belong to you, and let them go. Let them go. Allow your spirit, your neshama, to be by themselves, by itself. As we come to this moment, to this encounter with the source of creation, with the source of all being. But in this moment, with the source of our own beings, the source of life for each one of us. Once again, I invite you to breathe in and bring love, and breathe out and let go of the things that don't need to be with you in this Shabbat. Breathe in and out. As we say, Be'avatcha al tasir mimenu leolamim, Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Israel. Dear God, please never remove your love from us. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. On page 152 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please join me as we continue on page 154 with Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וכשאתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Adonai Elohechem emet, באמת באמונה כל סוד וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, בן זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. עבודנו מיד מלכנו, מיד מלאכים מלכנו, גואלנו מכף. Your children witness your presence. They praise your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe and Miriam and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices with joy and saying, "Who is like you, O God? Mi chamocha be'elim Adonai." We're on page 158. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, סלינו ואמרו, סלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם בעת, בנאמר כי אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גואל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בצעה טובה מלפניך. Grant, O God, that we lay down in peace, and raise us up, O guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. We're on page 160. We will now turn our Siddurim to page 164 for Tfilat Amidah. If you have a Siddur, you can follow the words of our tradition. And even if you have a Siddur, you can choose to take a moment for personal prayer, to try to find your Tfilah Shebalev, the words that you need to say. So often we are just functioning in our lives. So often we don't take a moment to try to articulate what we are experiencing, what's happening to us. Tfilat Amidah is the opportunity to find those words, to breathe, and to find center, to connect with our core, and to be intentional about where we are placing our energies as we try to transform these prayers, these words, into the reality that we experience. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare, that my mouth may declare your praise. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Say Shalom bimromav. We say Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'al kol yoshbei tevel bimru. Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us and for all Israel and for all those who inhabit the earth. And let us say Amen. We now take a moment to acknowledge those that are dealing with illness. We take a moment to acknowledge our caregivers, first responders. We acknowledge those that in any capacity are helping those that are struggling in our society to function. We think of those dealing with COVID. I'm thinking in this Shabbat of my beloved Rabbi Rabbi Stanley Davids, who is in the hospital with pneumonia and COVID. So we hope that he gets better. He is actually getting better, so we hope for him to keep improving. And so we think of all those that are dealing with COVID. Think of those dealing with illness in their bodies, in their souls. We think of those dealing with addictions as we pray together on page 371. Misheberach. Wish to all of them, to all of us, refuah shlema v'chlama meira, a complete and a fast recovery, and let us say Amen. So this week we are reading Parashat Vayigash. Vayigash. I saw you, Mark. So I'm glad that you are the other one who knows. No, we have many congregants that are completely aware of what's the Torah portion that we are reading. Now, one word about the meaning of the word Vayigash. What's the meaning of the word lageshet? Lageshet is when someone goes toward. Now, leagish, same shoresh, means to serve something. So when I go toward someone is lageshet. When someone serves me something, he's magish, something to me. Now, another use of the word, of this shoresh and of the word lageshet, is the word nagish, accessible. And I actually want to think for a moment about accessibility. I want to think about things that are accessible to us, places that are open to us, those that we can open. Now, who is coming to who? Judah is coming to Joseph. Now, Judah and Joseph have some history. And in the last Torah portion, two Torah portions ago, we were talking about Judah and some of the terrible things that happened to him. And now, he's coming to Joseph. And Joseph needs to make a choice. Is he going to reveal himself? Is he going to take revenge, make them pay for what he and they did to him? Or is he going just to move forward? Now, for those that have read the story, we know what's Joseph's choice. He forgives them. But there is some complexity in that forgiveness. I want to explore that for a moment. Often people ask me, what do I do with someone who I believe needs to ask me for forgiveness? How many people you know that need to ask you for forgiveness? Do you have a list? You probably do. We all think in our minds that there are individuals that owe us an apology, that they need to ask us for forgiveness. I want to put it now on the side for a moment and say that what happens in this story is that as soon as Judah starts to apologize once Joseph reveals himself, Joseph says, it wasn't you. This is what God wanted to happen, and here we are, and these are the new circumstances. I have this new opportunity, and I am now in the position to help our family out. Now, Joseph is clearly making a choice of narrative. He's deciding to tell a different story, to remember a different story of the one that we read just a few weeks ago. And there's a reason for that. There's the distinction between moving on and moving forward. I was discussing this distinction with some friends over the last couple of days. You can move on. You can let go of your family. You can disconnect from your family and move on. But if you actually want to move forward, and by moving forward, I mean Joseph engaging with his family, gathering with his siblings, re-encountering his father. By moving forward, I mean somehow finding a place of connection. For that, Joseph needs to move on. From what? Maybe from his own anger, from his own need to receive an apology. Now, once he gives up on that apology, on the, I don't know, I believe he had some rancor or some need for justice, he experienced a terrible situation. And certainly his siblings weren't fair with him. But I think that he realizes that in order to move forward with his siblings, he needs to let go. He needs to move on from what he was carrying and decide that he's not going to carry that anymore. That was unbearable for the entire family. So he needed to present an alternative narrative for the family. And he does that. He says, this is our story now. God wanted us to be in this situation. Now let's be a family. Now let's be a family. Now let's move forward together. Is that an easy task? Well, certainly not. But so often we are carrying things that we believe that other people owe us a request of apology, or that we need to forgive them in order for us to interact and engage with them, that we are basically giving up on the possibility of moving forward together, of creating and writing next chapters together. And so we keep going to the past. Forgiveness is not a gift that we give to someone else. Forgiving is a gift that we make to ourselves. Forgiveness is not a gift that you give or we give to someone else. It's a gift to ourselves. When you believe, when I believe, when we believe that someone owes us an apology, it means that we are carrying something that is really, really heavy. And because of that, there are certain places, there's a possible future that is not nagish, accessible to us. We don't have access to that future. By forgiving his siblings, Joseph buys the keys to a future of engagement and continuity with his family. But for that, he needed to give up on something that some of us really like to keep with ourselves, which is our sense of internal fairness. The fact that we were harmed. And I think that this Torah portion is a great lesson about the opportunity that lays on our ability of moving on. Not because we want to get past, but actually because we want to engage. We want to be able to re-encounter beloved people, and because actually we want to be able to move forward together. Shabbat Shalom. We will turn our Siddurim now to page 586 for Aleinu Leshabeach. And we'll do a different Aleinu today. We will just invite you, if you have a picture of our sanctuary, close your eyes for a moment. And as we say, Ve'ashebota el levavecha, return us to your heart, or return me to your heart. Let's think of a moment of gathering, a moment of presence. Ve'ashebota el levavecha el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim ve'ashebota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. We now take a moment to acknowledge mourners among our community. We don't say Kaddish yet for Jack Mandel, who passed away just yesterday. Yesterday he passed away. We don't say Kaddish yet for him. We will be probably doing his funeral on Wednesday. We will share that information with the community as soon as it is confirmed. But we are thinking of him. He was a president of our congregation. He was a wise and beloved man. And we are thinking of his wife, Judy. And he will be deeply missed. We take a moment now to acknowledge mourners and those that are saying Kaddish today. We think of those during the first 7 days of mourning, and so of those during the first 30 days of mourning. And so, of those during the cycle of the first year of mourning, and I see here Elaine Sokol. Elaine, we are thinking of your beloved Harvey. And so, of those that have a yahrzeit this week, as we recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. התגדל בית קדש שמרבה בעלמה דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב באמרו אמן. יהא שמרבה מבורך לעולם ולמי עלמיה. יתברך, בישתבח, ביתפאר, ביתרומם, ביתנשא, ביתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ולחמתה, תמירם בעלמה, באמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, בחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, באמרו אמן. עושה שלום באמרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, באמרו אמן. May the memories of your dear ones be always a blessing in your life. You may be seated. We'll now take a moment to acknowledge all those that help us with bringing things back home. There were all kind of a variety of technicalities that we needed to take care of. So we want to thank Zachary and Jordan, of course Gabriel and Evan and Noga, that have been helping our religious practices team for all your dedication and devotion. And all those that are sharing Shabbos with us. I can see we have a bunch of friends here in YouTube. Good Shabbos to you, and thank you for being here. And so those in Facebook, and of course, those that are with us in Zoom. We'll take a moment to do Kiddush. The Kiddush, you can find it on page 122. So if you have a cup of wine, bring it. Have it next to you. בערב באי בוקר יום השישי ויחול השמיים בארץ בכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי וחברותיי, you can say לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ברצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה ברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Chaim. Noga and I are sharing our cup because we are in the same quarantine. We do live in the same house. We'll take a moment now to make sure that everybody gets a Shabbos blessing, that everybody goes out of our virtual shul with a Shabbos blessing and with our best wishes for 2021, and also for our ability to recognize the gift of the year that is going away from us. We want to be able to take its gifts, its blessings. We want to also learn from the things that we need to learn from this year. We take a moment to connect with the millennial words of our tradition, with the blessing that the generations of the house of Israel have carried from one house to the other, exactly as we do today. From our great-grandparents to our grandparents. And maybe you can take a moment and think of the loving hands, loving presence of your grandparents, of your parents. And extend your hands to your children and to those who you love. To those that bring deeper meaning to the creation of the world, to this world, to your world. As we say to our boys, Yasimech Elohim Kefraim Bekemenashe. May God inspire you to be like Ephraim and Menashe. And to our girls we say, Yasimech Elohim Kesara, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May God inspire you to be like the wise mothers of the house of Israel. And to all of them we say, Yebrechechem Adonai Beish Merechem. May God bless you and protect you. Adonai Panav Elechem Bichunekem. May God's light shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai Panav Elechem V'yasim Lachem Shalom. May God's presence be within you always, and may God bless you with the ability to let go, with the ability to focus on what's really important, with the ability to envision the future that you want for yourself, and to move on in order to move forward. May God bless you with that wholeness. May God bless you with its peace, with Shalom. Adonai Os Le'amo Iten. Adonai Yevarech Et Amo B'Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Be'asone Mikdash Ve'shachanti Etocham Oh, God prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, dry and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. See you tomorrow morning.